Welcome back to Universally Speaking, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the major happenings in Universe mode this week. Kicking us off this week on Smackdown Live, we had an irate Braun Strowman complain that he and his Intercontinental Championship have been overlooked. Strowman was in a foul mood as he berated management and the fans, only to be cut off by former champion Alberto Del Rio. This led to an impromptu Intercontinental title match between the two, with Del Rio invoking his rematch clause at the earliest possible moment. The match went back and forth, but it was Strowman with a devastating chokeslam putting Del Rio down for the 3 count. Is there anyone who could ever topple the monster Strowman? Only time will tell. Also this week we saw an incredibly creepy and cryptic message sent to World Heavyweight Champion Samoa Joe from the Wyatt compound and Bray Wyatt. Bray appeared to be standing in a field and suggested that Samoa Joe continues to run. I don't know how keen the Samoan submission machine will be to heed Bray's advice, but one thing is for sure, these two are on a road to destruction. And now we move on to the incredibly combustible situation between Ryan Lusk and Sami Zayn. Both of these men have invaded each other's shows after Ryan Lusk sensationally turned his back on Zayn just weeks ago to cost he and Sami Zayn the tag team titles against the Revival. Both Zayn and Lusk have requested trades to their rivals' shows in order to settle this issue, but with no trade window open, that has become impossible. So exclusively here on Universally Speaking, we have a joint statement from SmackDown General Manager Edge and Raw General Manager Shane McMahon. It reads, "All officials from both Raw and SmackDown Live are in agreement that we will sanction a one-off inter-brand singles match between Sami Zayn and Ryan Lusk. We feel the issue has risen to a point where this is necessary and wouldn't usually commission such interactions between the brands outside of the traditional Survivor Series Raw vs SmackDown official contest. Both parties are in agreement on the condition that neither Mr. Zayn or Mr. Lusk make any attempt to engage physically before the Survivor Series pay-per-view, where this match will take place. So it's official, ladies and gentlemen, at Survivor Series, a one-off inter-promotional battle will take place between bitter rivals Sami Zayn and Ryan Lusk. Now before we get to the major happenings from Raw, let's head to the Survivor Series control panel, where we will have a look at who progressed in the Tag Team #1 Contenders Tournament. This week on Raw and SmackDown, we had a couple of seriously dominating performances, but there was one in particular that shocked the WWE Universe more than the other. Akam and Razor breezed through a plucky yet determined Lucha Dragons, but it was on SmackDown where the first major shock and first major upset of the tournament was to take place. Enzo Amore was caught napping while he tried to play to the crowd, only to be bulldozed by Baron Corbin and fed to Sheamus for a bro kick and a splash combination, and then he was pinned 1, 2, 3 in mere seconds. Big Cass at ringside was clearly upset with the performance and cut a frustrated figure after the match, so perhaps some dissension in the team of Enzo and Cass. The brackets have taken shape, however, and there are two great matchups to look forward to this week as DIY takes on American Alpha on Monday Night Raw, and the two heavy hitters of the tournament, the Lone Warriors and the Authors of Pain, are set to clash on SmackDown Live. Stay tuned to Universally Speaking and the two shows Raw and SmackDown for all Survivor Series info, as we are well on our way to the pay-per-view spectacular. This week on Monday Night Raw, we all waited with bated breath to see if Kevin Owens would indeed arrive and accept the challenge laid down to him by Shane McMahon. Owens showed up in the middle of a match and chose to walk through the crowd and even more poignantly, wasn't wearing any official WWE merchandise. Kevin stated that he no longer wants to make the WWE any more money while Shane McMahon is still taking a piece of the profits, and subsequently challenged the general manager to put his job on the line at Survivor Series. And he now wants to be referred to by his real name, Kevin Steen, instead of the name that he was given by the WWE, Kevin Owens. And with Steen opting to do the same if he loses and leave town, will Shane McMahon accept the match, or will Kevin Steen be out of a job anyway? We will find out in the coming weeks. To close Raw this week, we had an enormous main event between Seth Rollins and Austin Aries. This match was an example of what the future of the WWE looks like, as the two incredible athletes took part in an instant classic. And that was until, of course, HBK, Shawn Michaels, turned up to ruin the Seth Rollins party and delivered an earth-shattering sweet chin music to the former world champion. That left Rollins laid out and ripe for the picking. Aries took full advantage and delivered a devastating rolling five-arm to put away Rollins. But the night wasn't quite done there. The WWE Champion Rusev seized an opportunity to give out a receipt to Austin Aries for his blindside attack just the week prior. What will the fallout of this incredible main event be? You'll have to tune in next week. Speaking of next week, on Smackdown Live, World Heavyweight Champion Samoa Joe is in action for the first time since retaining his title at No Mercy, but you have to think that Bray Wyatt won't be too far away. Also on Monday Night Raw, Shane McMahon is set to answer Kevin Steen's challenge to put his job on the line at Survivor Series, plus World Heavyweight Champion Rusev is in action in the main event. As always, ladies and gentlemen, for Murph's YT13, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.